This is Hanksville, Utah, a small town located 3 hours south of Salt Lake City with a population of 170 people. Hanksville is one of the prettiest places in the entire United States for flying paramotors. It is made up of massive rock formations, beautiful red rock, deep valleys, and all around endless things to explore. Recently, me and my buddies took a trip down there to do exactly that. Lots of exploring, lots of flying, and this is one of the flights from that trip. When we went to take off, we were greeted with this nice breeze that allowed for a really easy reverse launch. The only kicker with this nice breeze is it meant that it brought a little bit of turbulence. We had some very strange shear layers up in the sky. If we climbed high, a couple hundred feet, we had some very smooth conditions, but strong winds. If we dropped down into the middle section, we had some really weird, lumpy, textured air. The best air that we found, and what we ultimately decided to do once we got airborne and realized those wind conditions, was to drop down into the nice katabatic cool air in the valley with the river. The cooler temperatures of that river, the cooler temperatures of that little tiny valley brought really smooth conditions, which allowed for us to have a very fun rip it up kind of flight through that valley while that smooth cool air was still blowing. So that is exactly what we did.
First thing I met was a fly with a buzz and the sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry, but the air was full of sound. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can remember your name, because there ain't no one for to give you no pain. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed, and the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think it was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
After me and my friends plundered and ripped it up in the sky, taking in the scenery, looking at the red rocks, and all around enjoying ourselves in the valley with that river, we decided to head over to Factory Butte. Factory Butte itself is a rock formation that jolts out of the ground nearly 1,000 feet and is just insanely surreal to fly around. It is the most unique, cool experience as you're so far up there. There's nothing else but this giant rock, and it just comes out of the ground. Anyways, it's so cool. Well, as we approached Factory Butte, I realized that we had nearly the perfect wind conditions to do what's called ridge soaring on Factory Butte itself. If you're not familiar with what ridge soaring is, it is simply the wind blowing up an object produces an upward draft that you can soar back and forth. I was able to actually kill my engine and soar motor off for nearly 10 minutes on Factory Butte before I pushed away and restarted the engine to fly back to the LZ. If you've never ridge soared, if you've never flown Factory Butte, putting the two together is just insanely fun. Sadly, my GoPro did not capture my landing, but for the rest of this video, enjoy me ridge soaring Factory Butte. Not a bad way to start the morning. Good morning, Hanksville, with a little ridge soaring of Factory freaking Butte, dude. Funny, I can tell it's been a while since I've done some flying. The littlest of bumps definitely make me nervous, and I'm a little timid. Bro, kill your motor, dude. I mean, what's the worst? Yeah, what's the worst that happens? You have to glide down to the bottom where it's perfectly flat and smooth, and you start it again and launch. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah, it is, dude. It feels good without a motor. It feels so much more relaxing with the motor out. Now we ain't burning no gas, bro. Our fuel economy is about to skyrocket. What a weird morning of air, though. I mean, I figured that right off the deck in the valley with the river it was going to be smooth, and it was because of the cooler air. But then we had some like shear right off like 100 feet, and it kind of smoothed out over there. It'll probably be a slightly bumpy ride back. It sure is, dude. I've never ridge soared if that's your question. But as far as weird lumpy air, yeah, I've had that. Definitely faster. I mean, we're on the same size and I'm 50 pounds heavier. I wouldn't expect that. Oh yeah, little bumpy lumpies. I thought so, but we're still up. It might just turn off, dude. What if it just swapped to the other side? That would be